Hey, welcome everybody. Today I'm going to show you how to do how to put multiple master nodes, max nodes on a single system. One of the cool things about Lytix and a lot of Pivx clones is that you can create and have more than one master node or max node on the same system. You just have to be sure to make sure that you got enough RAM on the system. And enough processing power that you can handle it. Now I'm going to use, for my example, I'm going to use a smaller system, so I'm going to show you how to put 3 on that system. And but if you got a really large system, you can put maybe 20, 30. We've had folks that have had some really monster systems put about at least 40 or 50 master nodes on one system. So here you go. Let's show you how to do this. Alright, so we're going to get started, and we're going to show you how to do multiple master nodes using the using one server. So so we have our server. We use the server over here. It's got pretty much our directory here in Lytix. Once again, we're going to be using it as a testnet, so a few things will be a little bit different. So one way you can kind of cheese this a little bit is to copy over. You're going to need each daemon is going to need its own directory. It's going to need its own all the wallets. Going to need the blocks and whatnot. So one way we can kind of do this is create a directory and then start copying over the one that we have. That way you don't need to sit here and wait for blocks to sync. That can take a long time, especially in mainnet. So we're going to create our directory. So right now I'm in my home directory, Lytix. So I'm going to create another directory. We're going to call it master. And in this directory, we're going to copy. We're going to make another directory called masternode 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so I'm going to create 3 master nodes off of this same system. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy everything that's in this directory into these new directories. 1, and we're going to go to 2, and we're going to go to 3. Okay. So now that I've made my copies in there, what I want to do is, and be careful of this, one of the things with Linux, there is no if you delete something, it's gone. There's no undelete, there's no way to get past it. So be very careful anytime you run RM. Be careful where you are and what you're doing, because you can really make a big mess of yourself in your system if you do the wrong thing. Alright, so I'm gonna just do pwd to find out where I am. So I'm in master mn01. So what I want to do is get rid of this wallet. Yep, okay, that's right, because it's in testnet, right? Alright, so I'm gonna get rid of the wallet and back out of that. So I'm going to get it into the second directory, get into testnet, get rid of that wallet as well, get back. So you see where I'm doing is getting in and out of directories. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of this wallet as well. Okay, so these are good to go. So give me a second here. Alright, so one important thing that we need to do is we need to make sure that these run on a different RPC port, because by default Lytix is going to listen on port 27071. Testnet is 72. So what we need to do is we need to change that port on each of these, and they all need to have their own individual port. Otherwise you're going to get errors about them not being able to start up. So we need to edit our lytix.conf on each of these. What you need to do is also listen needs to be 0. So change that to 0 if you have it as 1. You're going to change that port. So we're going to change this one to 28081. It's probably not in use anywhere, so we'll use that. Let's go into the second one. do the same thing. Change listen to 0. Oops, we didn't put our port. Alright, change that to 2. Let's get it a masternode, the third one. Change this one to 0. And change that to 3. Okay, so now we have each of them on their own ports. So I'm going to go back to the main directory. Now what I do, I like to kind of create scripts to start and stop things. So what I've done here, start Lytix. So whenever we're going to start something, so you see we have the main one right here that we're going to run, but then here we have our 3 clones, right? So we have masternode 1, 2, and 3. So what you need to do, if you're going to do anything specifically for those daemons, you need to specify -datadir equals and then the full path to that datadir, and then that way it will start and stop things for that particular one. So I also have a stop Lytix, and I have the exact same thing, which actually need to make a change, right? So let's change this. CLI stop. Okay, so there. So the same thing. So this is a little bit different. So you're going to invoke the CLI command. You're going to put the datadir where you're going to do it, and then you're going to put the command afterwards. So if you use this to do any other commands that you want to run, you want to look at the blocks or get the balance or look for status, the output of those commands that is going to go right after you specify the datadir. And so I put in sleep just because I don't want everything running at the same time. Just slow it down. So like I said, this system isn't a really robust system. It's kind of a test system, so I'm only going to put 3 of these on here. Like I said, if you had a really big one, you can really put quite a bit on those systems. So just be cognizant of disk space, memory, or the main ones. Processing, Lytix typically does not require a lot of processing. Usually maybe stays within like the 5 to 10% range sometimes, depending on how many connections you have. So alright, so let's get started. So let's get so I'm gonna go ahead and so let's go ahead and start these. I'm gonna start them manually here because I already have this one running. So I'm gonna copy and paste that one in there. So that's going to get that one going. No errors. Usually it's going to error within the first 5-10 seconds. Error. Get that one going. And we're going to get this one going here. Alright, great. So now, alright, so masternode 1. Test that. So we're going to check that debug. Looks like things are good. It's got the blocks. So, alright, so we're going to go ahead and create our masternodes right now. And let's clean our screen there. My apologies. Shouldn't have that stuff up there. Alright, so what are we going to do? We're going to go ahead and pull open our tools, debug. And so we're going to go ahead and create masternode. Masternode 01. Yeah, sorry. Still a little bit early. Gen key. So I'm going to create 3. So I'm going to create 3 of these. Alright, masternode. Actually, sorry about that. Get account address. Masternode 01, 2, 3. Okay. So I got my 3. I got my 3 private keys. I got my 3 addresses. So now what we need to do is send a collateral. So we're going to use send many because we want to do this at the same time. So I'm going to use wallet. This is a wallet that I've already sent a pretty good bit of money. Actually, yeah, pretty good bit of money to it. So I should have enough money to cover this transaction. And so we're going to escape that. We're going to get this in here, escape, enter, and it's 5,000 for master nodes, 100,000 for max nodes. So note, you can do the same, you can mix and match in here and do as you want. You just have to make sure that your wallet has enough to cover all of these transactions. Or wallet, or whatever you name it. You can name it something completely different. Alright, so this is our third one. I'm copying that one in there. That. Okay. Alright, there's our transaction. So move here to this system, and we're gonna mine about 15 good blocks. And look at that, testnet is just roaring. Okay, so so now we can run masternode outputs. All right, so we have 1, 0, 1, and 3. Okay, so let's go ahead and edit our masternode configuration file. And so here's the kind of the cool thing about this is that since we can have, if you saw some of the earlier examples, you can have masternodes, max nodes in the same system. When we create our masternodes, our comp files, and we are going to be able to use just the same IP, which is kind of cool. Masternode 1. Alright, and let's get the IP of this one here. Alright, there's that. Oops. Copy and paste sometimes in Linux is a little, doesn't quite work as well. So 32.202.96, and like I said, this is testnet 27072. So even though, right, remember you put the RPC ports is different, this port is still going to be the same. So you're going to still have the same port. So for mainnet, you're going to keep using 71 for each one of those. So, but we're on testnet, so it has to be a little bit different. All right, so let's get our first key. Throw that in here. Well, I got a little goofy, didn't it? All right, so that's there. Let's get our transaction down here. All right, there's that one. Space that one. Okay, and that is transaction ID 0. 0. All right, masternode 02, and we're just gonna do a little copy and paste on this one because that's the same. The only thing unique about these is the name and the key. The transaction, of course, then the transaction ID output. All right, so let's copy this one because they're all the same. Transaction hash. And let's go down here. This is 1. Alright, so there's that one. So masternode 03. And copy and paste this. This good stuff right here. Here. Okay, let's go get our key. Last one. Space that out. And let's copy our transaction hash here. And go down, and it is 3. Alright, so that's that. That's saved. That's good to go. Okay, so let's go over here. Alright, so we're in masternode 1, right? It's PWD, yep, we're in masternode 1. Let's edit the Lytix comp file. So we're going to put in masternode equals 1, masternode priv key equals. And let's go back up and get our key. There's that one. Okay. Let's go to the other one. Do the same thing. Masternode equals 1. Masternode priv key equals. Kind of a mouthful, isn't it? Masternode priv key. Alright, put that in there. That's got that one. Okay, we got one more. If you're doing 20, it's going to take you a little while, but it'd be worth it because you only have to do it once, which is kind of cool. Masternode equals 1. Masternode priv key. There's a lot. Alright, copy and paste that one in. There we go. That's good. Alright, so let's go back to our home directory. Yep, we're here. So let's, I don't think I actually made those executable. So let's make sure they are. So I'm going to just make sure that one is executable so I can actually execute it and it runs. There we go. Alright, so we're going to stop Lytix. So we're going to stop these, the daemons, each one. So what it'll do is it stops one, waits for about 5 seconds, stops another one. Like I said, it's up to you whether you want to do that or not. You may have your own system and how to do it. That's up to you. Just kind of showing you some easier ways. So oops, looks like I've got an error in our file. Yep. That would probably be, and yeah, look at all this. This is crazy, right? Okay, there you go. So even I make mistakes on occasion. I actually make them all the time, but that's alright. Okay, so that one's gonna stop. Alright, so we're gonna ps-eaf. Let's make sure that they are not running. Okay. Alright, so that was a goof. Alright. We need to grep Lytix D. Okay, so it looks like, yeah, you see, everything's cool, everything's finally stopped. All we have left is our grep output. So let's make sure this is all good. Yep, looks good. Alright, so let's start it. Okay, so it's going to start those. And I think we are good over here to restart this one. Alright, so we can restart it. And this should have all of our master nodes hanging out here ready for activation. So we had our payment to ourselves, which already has 31 confirmations. So it is good to go. So let's go in and we're going to make sure that these actually will activate. So let's go to master here. So I'm going to tail each of these log files. I mean, you could have multiple terminals open to do this, so it could be easier. So this one's here, it's ready, it's already running. So let's go to our first master node, start that one. There you go. So that's what you want to see enabled. You can shut down the cold daemon, but we're busy. We got more things to do. So let's go to masternode 02 now, and let's start that one. Yes. Okay, enabled and shut it down. That's a good sign. We like that. Alright, so let's go to the third. There we go. Start that one. There we go. Success. Alright. So we got all three started. They're running. They're all on the same system. Like I said, this is kind of a small system. So the only things you kind of need to be cognizant of are really kind of the memory. So memory, and so this one's CPU is 31, so this is like testnet, so things aren't you know, mainnet, you're not going to have these problems. But see, since really testnet's only active like when you want it to be active, it's still going to be kind of, you know, high CPU utilization. But the regular mainnet, you're not going to have these issues. They're usually about like 3 to 5% at most, so you don't have to worry about that. And alright, so anyway, there you go. You can put multiple master nodes on the same system. Max nodes, you can have a mix of them. Completely up to you. So now you know how to do it and you get rolling. Alright, thanks. Have a good one.